Thanks, Anthony. Great reporting as always, and go to Law&Crime.com to learn a little bit more of the top trending stories of the day. Before we get back into Jeffrey Willis, we have an update for you in the Harvey Weinstein case. We sent down our senior editor here at Law&Crime, Ronn Blitzer, to the courthouse, and I want him to, he's live with us right now. Ron, good to see you.
Good to see you, too. I'm here outside the New York State Supreme Court in downtown Manhattan. I was in the courtroom for the Harvey Weinstein hearing. A lot of press outside the courtroom here. Not a lot happened on the record at the hearing. We were waiting for a while. Unfortunately, the judge did not allow streaming of the hearing, so we couldn't show it to you, but you didn't miss much. The judge initially said that he was issuing a decision in the case where he was not going to be dismissing the indictment. Harvey Weinstein was trying to fight charges, claiming that a number of the women who made allegations against him had actually engaged in consensual relationships with him. In the past, there had been reports that there were emails to back this up, but we didn't get the judge's reasoning during the hearing, but he said he was not dismissing the indictment. Then he called attorneys from both sides to the bench, and they had a lengthy discussion that we could not hear from the audience. And then once that wrapped up, they just announced that the next court date would be March 7th for potential pretrial hearings.
What was the reaction, if you could tell, from Brafman and Weinstein? How did they appear walking into court today?
Very quiet. There was definitely a hush that fell over the room when Weinstein and Brafman walked in. Everything was very, very serious, strictly business, and there was no indication of, what side was happier than the other when they came back from the sidebar. So we're going to have to wait and see on that one.
Who else was in the courtroom? We had reports that there were some high-profile people that wanted to see what was happening in today's pretrial hearing.
Oh, celebrity attorney Gloria Allred was in the stands, not surprisingly. She's spoken out and represented people who had made allegations against Weinstein in the past, so I did see her. I did not see anyone else of note from where I was situated. And are you surprised by this? Because the ups and downs of the Weinstein scandal have been the Weinstein case have been pretty interesting to follow. I mean, one of his charges was dismissed. Were you surprised by the results of today? No, I was not. But again, without more information, it's hard for me to really evaluate what happened. But no, given that there were quite a few allegations from quite a few women, even if some of them, may have been questionable in this particular case, I think that there were enough allegations made against Weinstein to keep the charges against him, at least some of them. So I'm not surprised that the case is still going on. And the case is going to still be held on. We will cover it here on Law and Crime. Ronn Blitzer, come back. It's cold. You should be wearing a jacket. Come back to the set. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Now let's switch gears and focus back on Jeffrey Willis on Victim Speaks Day. And now here's the interesting part. We look at Jeffrey Willis. We know that he was implicated in trying to kidnap a teenager. He's now being implicated in the disappearance of Jessica Herringa. And we also know that he was charged with the murder of jogger Rebecca Bletch, who was gunned down in 2014. Not a model citizen. One of the questions was this guy married? And the answer to that is yes, he was. He was married to Charlene Bishop. Think about this. Somebody was married to Jeffrey Willis. She took the stand. Now, we're talking about Victim Speaks Out Day, and a little bit later on, we'll talk about the teenager who spoke out against him, says that she was almost kidnapped by Willis. But couldn't you argue that maybe his wife was a victim as well? Let's see what she had to say when she took the stand.